Peace, people. Welcome to the latest episode of The Rough Draft. I am your host, Kevin Alberto Sabio. And in this episode, I'll be talking about different do it yourself tips for like marketing and doing outreach. Thank you again for tuning into the latest episode of The Rough Draft. In this particular episode, I just want to talk to the members of the Universal Africana Literary Arts Movement and kind of get them a shout out, especially in these trying times, which we still have the pandemic going on and whatnot. Just different things that they can do to like do outreach and also that they could do for like marketing tips, especially people who are just getting into the game. It's not easy for most of the members of the literary arts movement. I mean, a lot of us are pretty much independent artists, whether you're poets, authors, comic book artists and publishers, or just basic plain artists. You know what I'm saying? Putting your stuff out there, even like the independent bookstores who are kind of like struggling during these trying times. Um, really what I want to do is just help a lot of people with just different things that they can do to like be able to promote themselves. Say some of it is virtual, some of it is also pretty much just grassroots. And especially if you're somebody who's new into the game, saying a lot of it is just taking care of the expense of trying to promote yourself and market, say you and your book, saying marketing yourself as an author and marketing your current project. Say whether it's your latest comic book, your latest book of poetry or CD of poetry, or your latest novel that you've written, or just your latest, say nonfiction book overall that you've done. So I wanted to give a few words of advice, some stuff that I do myself, just little grassroots things that you can do to get your stuff out there, help promote yourself and do outreach. So one of the things for me is like to cut costs down is like you can invest in what's called freeware software programs. So you could go on certain websites and you could download some of these programs onto your computer and you could use these programs and you could do like graphics or you could use them to do word processing or anything else that you need to do. I mean, there are certain programs out there like there's LibreOffice, so it's kind of a freeware alternative to using Microsoft Office. So it's got like a lot of the similar things. I mean, it's got uh, they got a program called Writer, which is kind of an alternative to Microsoft Word. They have another program called Calc, which is kind of like Excel, and things like that. Say it's a whole software package where you can basically all the stuff that you do on Microsoft Suites, you can do the same thing with LibreOffice. Another thing is like if you're into graphics, I know that there are a few other freeware programs that you could use, like one called Paint.net and another one called GIMP, GIMP. So those are both graphics programs that are also freeware programs that you can easily go to their websites and download. I guess you could say that they're alternatives to Adobe Photoshop. So if you have at least an understanding of how to use Photoshop, it's pretty easy to use these same programs. It's just that you don't have to like come out of pocket and subscribe to Adobe and pay their fees in order to download, their creative suites or any of their programs. You could just easily go to these websites to download these freeware programs. Also, another alternative is one that I use called Inkscape, and I guess could be an alternative to one of the Adobe programs. I guess you could say it's like an alternative to Illustrator. So you could use it. And I actually like Inkscape because you could use their regular program. I've actually used it a lot to help with doing my own book cover designs. So like you could save when I use Inkscape, not only can I save it in their regular Inkscape program, but I could also save it as a PDF file, and I could also save it as a graphic, PNG file, PNG graphic file. So it's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? Like these freeware programs really help you a lot. And so you don't have to come out of pocket like to Microsoft or to Adobe or some of these other like more well-known programs. You could actually do some other, go to these other freeware programs, download them, and use them for whatever you need them for. Another thing that I would like to say is like using these freeware programs. Like I say, I use Inkscape, I use GIMP, I do use Paint.net myself. Definitely use LibreOffice. I use that a lot. I use Writer in order to be able to write my novels. Um, I'm also able to use it for other things. Like another tactic that you can do as far as marketing, create your own flyers. Because like, okay, here's an example of me. Like for one of my books, for Chronicles of the Black Fist, if you could properly see it, this is kind of a flyer that I created. You know, what I'm saying, with the book cover on it, and I did that in Office, Leave Your Writer, sorry, in Writer. So that's one thing that I did, and so I was created in there. And when I had access to my printer, I would just like print up a couple of copies, and then I would just probably go around to certain different stores that I know, either ones that I frequent, you know what I'm saying, and ask permission, obviously, see if I can leave a couple of flyers there. Then I would just like leave some flyers there, you know what I'm saying, might hopefully you see get some people interested in wanting to like purchase a copy of the book or download it, since that particular book is available for download and for to be purchased in paperback. Also, actually, I have another one, so you can do just various different versions of it. So this is for Fiesta Girl. This is another flyer that I did. So it's basically I did the image, I downloaded it into, you know, saying, to Writer, and then I just did whatever I had to do to like make the flyer a little bit more appealing and just let people know exactly the outlets of where they can get copies of my books. And like I said, like I did it on my laptop, have my printer print up a couple of copies, go to a particular store, you say whether it's like corner store or I wouldn't say a restaurant, but like you say maybe someplace like the laundromat or something like that, or even a barber shop or something. You see, print up copies and then go there and drop off a couple of flyers there. So that's another grassroots you see technique that you can use. The other thing for me is like you can like, especially if you're able to do appearances, you see, even if it is on a limited basis, like if you want to do like some street corner thing, well, not street, yeah, pretty much street vending. Like another thing that you can do if you can't be inside an actual particular space to hold, you see, like a book signing or something, but you want to be out there in the public and still interact and still be able to make some sort of a sale. Is one of the things that I would do is do like a email mailing list, and it's just like I was able to do that again in Writer. So it's like like something like this. So it's just like you say, I have my cover image. Well, not my cover image, my logo, my name, and then I would just be able to like do all the stuff to format it so that I could usually make a mailing list, so that wherever people go, and wherever I'm at, you know, saying since if I'm not even after the pandemic is over, I could use that. Um, Whenever I do an appearance, either use the same sheet or just print out another one. And so whether you see I'm doing street vending or if I'm going to a festival or if I'm doing a book fair, that's something that you can do as far as like you say you don't have to have something that looks kind of ghetto, like getting a notepad or something like that, and just be like, here, write your name here. So you could actually do a little bit of a design in one of these free programs like Writer, LibreOffice Writer, and do something like that. Oh, and yeah, this is you know, one of those clipboards. Like easily you can get it from like any corner store or well, not even corner store, like discount store or depending on what city you live in, a dollar store. Literally, it's only $1, so like that also helps with it. So that's another thing about it. And so that's just like you got to be inventive. You got to think outside of the box, and it's something that can really help you. You know, what I'm saying it can keep costs down. Um, it won't cost a whole hell of a lot. You don't have to worry about like coming out, even if it's just even like if you do either Microsoft or Adobe, that's something you still have to pay every year. And who knows how your sales are going to be during the year that you're using it. So with these freeware programs, you can download them, you can use them for whatever you need to like you're saying help you to design your book covers. Like if you have that skill, if you have that talent, like I said, you could do the mailing list. You could create your own posters and advertisements and things like that to help promote your work. I mean, it's worth it. The other thing that I would say is, in order to do more outreach, um, use the time that you have online. Like specifically for bookstores, I would say do the research on bookstores. So not even just your local bookstores, but like as many bookstores as you can, like even in your region. You know what I'm saying? Specifically our black bookstores, because they really need help. You know what I'm saying? They really do need our support because I've said, I believe in episode 11, I mean, these are institutions. You know what I'm saying? We need to preserve these institutions, you know what I'm saying, in our community for our people in our neighborhoods. And they need our support. So definitely reach out to them. Do research if if you're able to do that. Well, if they're on social media, definitely follow their social media. You see, if they have a page on Facebook, join their page on Facebook, like it. If they have a Twitter account, definitely follow their, you know, saying the bookstore's Twitter account. I do that myself. I've done it myself, and I've actually been able to give like a lot of shout outs. So if that particular bookstore does like share a lot of stuff, specifically on Twitter or whatever, well, Facebook and Twitter or Instagram, you're saying depending on what social media you're on, just basically just follow them and join them. And like if you can, just do a lot of interacting, share a lot of their work, like a lot of their posts that they have, and it's just like try to do what you can to build that relationship. You know what I'm saying? And like I said in episode 11, these are treasures, these are institutions, these are places that we need, you know what I'm saying, especially in our communities, to have our voices heard because it's just like I was saying about with the Universal Africana Liberty Arts Movement back in like episode 2, I'm like, you're saying no longer do we have to worry about being in some small section of a mainstream bookstore. We have our own. And so really we need to support them and we need to do what we can because like for the most part they're going to be the places where our books are going to be stocked. They're going to be the ones who are going to be more open to like doing in-person events with us, you know what I'm saying, and they're going to be the places where our people can go to be exposed to our work, you know what I'm saying, other than doing the whole festival thing. And definitely I want to give a shout out because we are starting to see a little bit of a resurgence. Black bookstores in certain ways are coming back. Like I was saying in episode 11, you do have some new ones that are popping up, and they're like kind of hybrids. They're like um, bookstores and coffee shops or bookstores and cafes. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, they're coming out. They're coming back, and we just support them. Because like I've actually become aware of some new ones that are coming out. There's one called Urban Reads Bookstore that's located in Baltimore. So any of my peoples who are watching this video and they're in Baltimore, please come out and like go visit them. Definitely join their social media. You say show them your support. Like let's help them to sustain, especially their first year. You saying they just like recently opened, I think a few months ago. Um, I believe there's also Black Garnet Bookstore. That's located in Minneapolis, Minnesota. That's run by a sister, I believe, and so that's new. So definitely give support for them. Um, who else? Café con Libros. That's a bookstore open. That's also ran by a sister. That's based in Brooklyn, New York. So I believe it's like three different sisters who run that. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, I mean they are open. They're another new one. The Lit Bar. That's another bookstore, also owned by a sister. That's in the Bronx. So shout out to my people in the BX. Like much respect to y'all. You're saying you have a black bookstore up in there. You know saying that's like a literary desert. You know saying not too many bookstores out there. So like shout out to y'all that you got space. You know what I'm saying? And what else? Blackstone Bookstore and Cultural Center. That I believe is Ypsilanti, Michigan. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but definitely shout out to y'all. You're saying that's owned by some brothers that was recently opened as well a few months ago. They opened it. I think a lot of these bookstores opened, if not this year, then in 2019. So you know what I'm saying, and 'cause I think there's another one, what Beyond Barcodes Bookstore. I believe that one's in Kokomo, Indiana. So that's just a few of the new black bookstores that are open. And definitely, if you can, give them your support. And like I said, definitely follow them on social media. So like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, like look out for these places and please give them your support. You know what I'm saying? Order books for them. And if they do like curbside pickup, definitely go out there and support them. If they do like sidewalk, you know what I'm saying, sales, like one day a week or something, go out and support them. You know what I'm saying? Like Harrods in Philadelphia. They do like sidewalk sales, so definitely a big shout out to them. But you know, thank you very much. I hope that this video was very informative. Um, I look forward to contacting y'all again. I mean, definitely if you want to if you want to purchase copies of my books, you know where to go to get them. Amazon.com, Barnes& and Nobles, Books a Million. If you want to buy any of my things via ebook, they're also available in that format. You're saying you go to the majors, Kindle, Nook, Kobo, and iTunes. They're also available in others like 24 Symbols, Scribd, Playster. Most of my stuff is also available in ebook format for libraries, so you could go through Overdrive, Hoopla, Baker and Taylor, Biblioteca, and definitely if you're watching this on YouTube, like the videos, definitely leave a comment. Please give me your feedback. Definitely subscribe to the channel and hit the notification button. That way you get to know of any other videos that I drop. So thank you very much. Definitely, you know what, keep the fist raised. I'm always on my literary grind, and basically, people, keep your head up. Just say, hopefully, I get to see y'all soon. Hopefully, we'll get through these trying times. I know we're up to like, what, 220,000 people who have passed away from the COVID virus. Stay safe, people. Please stay safe. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.